Hello, how are you? My name is Adrian Fleischer. I will be your instructor for Kinesiology 231 during this fall term. This video is a welcome video and a getting you started video for this course. So without further ado, let's get going. So what I'd like to just go over in this, it's a pretty brief overview, maybe about 10 minutes, 12 minutes. When it's all said and done, is just a real quick welcome for me, which I've already done, introduction to who I am, what I bring to the table, etc., and how to get started in the class and what the next steps are to get you going. So let's go ahead and jump into this. With this class, I originally designed it as part lecture, part lab, and that's one of the requirements for this course is a bit of a hands-on approach to personal training, fitness, wellness, etc. And the way I threw the format together was a 30-30-15 format. So 30 minutes lecture, 30 minutes hands-on, 15 minutes kind of regroup and debrief. So that's not to say that it's going to be exactly 30-30-15. We might find that we have a session where we do predominantly hands-on and we have a 10-minute lecture on the front end. With the way we've kind of transitioned learning at Harper and other universities, I'm actually going to use Blackboard as more of a tool and introduce more lectures on Blackboard so we don't have to sit through them in class and spend an hour listening to me drone on about topics. So I'm going to use this as a tool, and you're going to be seeing more videos from me as we go through this course. And this course is actually going to end up being a little bit more blended, if you will, than a regular lecture course, but it's going to be less so than a fully online course. So I intend to use Blackboard as a tool. So what I'm trying to do is actually prepare you, each of you, to be a wellness practitioner, whether it's a personal trainer, physical therapist, strength and conditioning coach, occupational therapist, could be any number of different things. And really trying to prepare you best to be a wellness practitioner, but also prepare you for kinesiology, 234, which is the practicum. I'd really like to have you go in there with a sense of confidence in the ability that you can go in and work with somebody and be very hands-on with them and not feel sheepish about it and feel uptight and nervous about working with a client. So a little bit about me, right? This is part of it. The university wants us to do this, and this is, I believe me, guys, I am not like a Professor Diva where like I'm holier than thou, etc. I have no doubt a ton of experience. I have no doubt a couple of degrees, absolutely. But this class is not about me. It's about the content and being able to make you better practitioners. But with that, it's still valid to have this quick conversation. So I actually I started off my collegiate career at Harper. Played football at Harper, and then I transferred over to or up to UW Whitewater, where I played football and I ran track. And like most people in sports, an injury took me out of the game. And during that process, when I transferred up, when I first transferred to Harper, actually not all my credits made it, so I was ineligible, and I ended up working as a strength conditioning coach, and that was a head student assistant. So I was in charge of developing programming and implementing programming for what are called the non-revenue sports at the time. Now they're called the Olympic sports. Think of it like this: when you get into a big college setting, you have a strength conditioning coach that works specifically with football, and then you have a strength and conditioning coach who's the head coach for all the other sports. And it's really become this bifurcated setup. And I was a person at UW Whitewater who dealt with all the non-revenue sports, the Olympic sports. And I did that for 3 years, and I became a head student assistant. I did some cool stuff. I started actually second one in the country, if I can say it, for student assistants in strength conditioning. I started on our campus for students who wished to become strength and conditioning coaches, and it was like us and Penn State had these programs in place, and it was done with the help of the National Strength and Conditioning Association. So it was pretty cool. Also, while I was there, once I was kind of taken out of the game for football, I ended up being a freshman defensive back coach, and I worked with the athletes to make them better athletes, but also coach specifically the sport of football. I did an internship at the University of Arizona. Many of you will be asked to do an internship as part of your undergrad experiences. I happened to follow my mentor out to the University of Arizona. He was a coach at Whitewater, and he took a position at Arizona, and I drove out there day after graduation, I think it was, or maybe a week after graduation, packed my life belongings into a truck and drove out to Arizona and stayed in Tucson for a couple months and literally had my mind blown every day. I worked under some very heady people who still have big names in the industry at this point, and they've kind of relocated around the country. But wow, pretty heady stuff. Like every day, I would go in at 6 a.m. and stay until about 6 or 7 o'clock at night, and just my head would explode every time. And I actually had followed my mentor out there. I went to visit my mentor, a year and a half ago. He's at an SCC school, Southeastern Conference School, as the head Olympics coach in strength conditioning. So uh, definitely have an insight regarding that profession if you want to hear more about it. I then took a position at Austin Peay State University, and I was the head strength conditioning coach at Austin Peay. Now, what's kind of interesting about that is it was actually a graduate assistantship position. And this is verbiage once you get into the industry. You might go off and do a graduate assistantship in athletic training where you're earning your master's degree in physical therapy or athletic training, but you're doing so under the guidance and tutelage of a head athletic trainer. As a strength conditioning coach, you'll have a graduate assistantship you do under the guidance and tutelage of a head strength coach. Austin Peay didn't have one and did not have one for 2 years before I got to Austin Peay. And so I was able to come in very young, oh my God, 21, 22 years old. And I was able to come in, take over a program. I had to win over the coaching staffs and kind of show the value add to having a guy like me around, and took over the strength conditioning program. Now, the thing was, because I was a graduate assistant, I was also a full-time graduate student. So I was coaching a Division I program full-time, while I was also a full-time master's degree student. And I remember Chuck Kimmel on the phone. He goes, look, you'll come in here, you'll have room, book, board, tuition all paid for, and you'll also get a little monthly stipend to have some cash in your pocket. And you'll also be the head strength coach of 14, I think it was, or 15 different Division I athletic programs. You're going to be tired. It's going to be a lot, but in 1 year's time, you'll have a master's degree. You'll be done with no debt, and you'll be the head coach of a Division I program. Chuck, it's Monday. I'll leave on Wednesday. I'll see you on Friday. And I drove cross country, and I ended up going from Arizona to Tennessee, and showed up there and went right into football practice in the fall. So it's a pretty cool story. It's one that I look back with fond memories for sure. I've been a personal trainer from '95 until now. I've done different stuff in that field. I came back to the burbs here after I earned my master's, and I was looking for a college coaching gig. And this is long before like Monster, or long before different job boards and search engines for finding jobs. Things like Indeed that are out there now. And while I was here, I took a job as a personal trainer, and I was in '95, and I've done a number of different things in the industry, whether it's working in a fitness setting, working in home, working in a studio. I worked with a medical group downtown where I worked with all high BMI, oh my God, people who had eating disorders as well. It was a really cool experience and just unbelievably eye-opening as it was for me to coach at Arizona, but with a different population. I've managed facilities. I've done all different kinds of stuff. I have a couple different startups I've done. I've done things outside of the industry as well. So I have a pretty good body of work that I can draw on to be able to work with you guys and kind of help develop your skill sets, both in business and outside of the business mindset. So think of it like a silo. Even though fitness is its own business within the fitness industry, or personal training is its own silo within the fitness industry, you have the business component that also has to be evaluated as well. So I can bring that to the table with an MBA as well as an MS in exercise science. And my business PT network, it's connecting trainers to clients, and then also I do a number of consulting gigs with area high schools. I just did one this summer with an area high school with a wrestling program to work on conditioning. So it's pretty cool stuff, really is, and I've really had to kind of evolve my skill set over the years, and hopefully you guys can draw from that and learn a little bit from that too. And now I'm an adjunct professor here at Harper, and it's been kind of cool to see this transition go from Harper College, playing football, 18 years old, actually 17 when I first came to Harper, to how it's all kind of transitioned where I'm now an adjunct professor at Harper. So cool stuff, guys. So now here's the thing. Here's how this starts, right? From this video, once you're done listening to me, you'll go over to the Learning Modules tab on the left-hand side of the screen. Go to the Learning Modules tab, open up that tab, and then go to Start Here, and then do the work to get on the A train. So if we get out of this and we go right into here, this video is going to be laid in right in here, just so you know. But you go into the course modules and labs, and once you get in here, open this folder, Introduction, Start Here, Welcome to the Course. and I'll have a different video in here for you in a second. I just have a marker in place for these so we can go over stuff like the syllabi, etc. But once you're in, you're going to read through this. You'll have a welcome and then activities that I want you to complete. And these include a welcome from me, an orientation video, and I'll place it here just so you know, regarding the syllabi and also the course layout. And then we'll have a video on the Blackboard shell. And these will be pretty short in duration. I'm not going to belabor you with a bunch of stuff. And then down here, there's an assignment. So please complete this assignment. It's a post and response, and to get full points, you need to post as well as respond to one of your peers. And specifically, it's what subset of the fitness and wellness industry are you into? Would you like to be in equipment sales, practitioner? Do you want to be strength and conditioning coach? Do you want to be physical therapy? Do you want to be exercise science professor? What do you want to do? Please post and then respond to one of your peers. With that, guys, I'm signing out. Be on the lookout for more videos. Thanks. Bye.